If it's better than running through it. Where you headed?
I'm headed home.
Okay, where you live?
With my parents.
Okay, and where do your parents live?
They live with me.
Okay, and where do you all live?
We all live together.
Okay, so where's your house?
It's next to my neighbor's house.
And where's your neighbor's house?
Ooh, you wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Try me.
Next to my house.
I'm just too damn pretty. Right. I know your man agree with me. Right. The world would be fucked up. Yeah. And my face wasn't all in it. Damn. She ill is back in your face. Instagram and book face.
Yo. What's the deal? You up, y'all?
Welcome to another episode of Man Talk Podcast. I am Tagged Up Gaming. You're supposed to introduce yourself too.
And y'all know who I am. I'm Lil A, you know.
There we go. Right. Now, I want to, first of all, I want to say I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Originally, I was going to do a show. I was going to do a gaming show because Lil A had came through and we played a game of Madden. I just forgot to record it and go live because it was a real intense game. That game was really, really intense. And usually when those games get intense, we always forget to record it or go live. It's always the good games. It's only the blowouts we managed to record and shit. So, with that being said, next time A comes down here, we will be going live on a Madden game. You know what I'm saying? It's real intense. If y'all know how we do it, it goes down. And speaking of which, after I done said I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving and brought in us playing Madden, that brings us to why we're here, which is we're going to do something we've never done before on Man Talk Podcast. You know, A knows I'm a sports fanatic. A knows that I'm a sports guy. No matter what it is, if it's sports, I'm going to watch it. So we're doing a sports talk episode. Sports talk, you know what I'm saying? This episode of this podcast is pretty much, it's very simple. We're bringing up sports and make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. And we're just going to go in. I appreciate everybody watching on Twitch and everybody that's watching on the group chat. Make sure y'all share this while we're at it. But we're going to get into this because A knows how much I love sports. So we're going to do a sports episode. We're going to start off with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, if y'all don't know that I am from Kansas City, Missouri, Little A is from Kansas City, Missouri. He's from 6'8". I'm from the 50s, you know what I'm saying? We're some real life Missourians, you know. And for the past 5-6 years, the Kansas City Chiefs, the road to the Super Bowl as far as the AFC has went through Kansas City. You wasn't going to go to the Super Bowl unless you beat Kansas City in the AFC championships at Arrowhead Stadium. Now, you can stop me if I'm lying at any time, okay?
Yeah, go ahead. You good.
Now, like I said, last year was actually, to me, if you ask me, was the toughest year that we had. Opposed to this one, was the toughest year because this was the first year. Last year was the first year we did not have Tyreek Hill. And we traded him, and it looked like we got rid of him to pick up Juju Smith-Schuster and Kadarius Toney. I think it's Kadarius or Kadarius Toney. I keep getting his name. And it kind of worked out. We won a Super Bowl out of the process. Now the new year's going on. Juju is in here. You know what I'm saying? And I've usually been one of those guys to say Patrick Mahomes makes people look good. It doesn't matter who he's playing with. He make them look good. but this past game has made people look different. So I want to ask you, A, before I get into this, what did you see watching that last game against the Philadelphia Eagles?
I didn't really get to see the last game, but I did watch the highlights. And from what I saw in those highlights is they really beat their fucking selves. My thing is, how do you go from what's that, 17 to 7 lead at halftime?
Yeah. Yes.
Pretty much wrap it up in the bag. And somebody brought something to my attention. And I did my own research on the Chiefs. And they brought it to my attention.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs never scored in the second half this whole season.
Not real. Yep, you kind of have a point. They haven't scored in the second half.
They haven't scored no more than two.
It's been field goals.
Listen to me. They haven't scored anything really in the second half. All their points on offense came from the first half from what's this, week 11 now? All 11 games.
Yes, week 11.
All offense points came from the first half, week 11. The reason why we got more than 14 points this last go around playing against the Dolphins was defense.
I was about to say defense was turning up that game. Like, so it didn't really matter what the offense did because the defense was kicking ass.
Like, for example, I love my Chiefs dearly. I do. I'm a diehard Chiefs fan. You know that.
Yeah, but I had to say that before we started.
I'm a diehard Chiefs fan. People hate me, and I hope they prove me wrong. But I don't see them being that number one seed no more. Until they get somebody in the wide receiver core. Who's going to look at this? Who's going to replace Travis Kelce?
First of all, there's nobody in the tight end position in the NFL at all that's going to be able to replace Travis Kelce. That's not even a discussion. The moment that I don't think Kansas City is stupid enough to do anything to do something to risk Travis Kelce leaving Kansas City.
If all these NFL players is actually listening to Travis Kelce and his brother's Talk podcast, Tyreek Hill's podcast, or any other stuff, or Tyreek Hill podcast, or any other podcast that's out there that represent football or any sport, period.
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill said it himself. When we played them Chiefs in Germany, I already telling my boys on defense, when Patrick Mahomes start running, look for Kelce.
But you want to know the crazy thing? That game, if you watch that game when they went up against
he was double teamed the whole game
in Germany.
He was double teamed the whole
wasn't even the main guy they passed it to.
He was double teamed the whole game.
Kelce was more of a decoy that game. Because you remember who the main man was? I don't know if you remember. You remember who really the main guy was in that game? Besides the defense, besides Chris Jones and Snead, the main guy was Kadarius Toney. He was making up for all of that bullshit he did those other games in that particular game, if you remember.
He barely did shit in that game.
What are you talking about? He was doing what he
barely did shit. If I was gonna give it to anybody, it'd be Rashee Rice, the rookie.
Rashee, who are you talking about?
The wide receiver, the rookie. If I give anybody credit that's on up for a wide receiver position for a number one spot right now.
You talking about right now? You talking about right now, which I'm not going to argue. I'm talking about that particular game.
Oh, that particular game? Yeah, I still give it to him.
I say Tony. because
I
he's the
give it
one
to Rice.
he's the one that sealed the deal in those games. He's the one that sealed the deal in that game. Besides the defense, because everybody knew that everybody was gonna pass it to Kelsey. He was double,
Rice-
triple covered. He was double,
Rice
triple
showed
covered.
up.
There was only
Rice
and they
showed
didn't
up.
think that he was gonna catch the ball, but he ended up catching it then. But not to be on a biased tip because I do kind of sound biased. I do want to ask this. What do you think the Chiefs need to do to turn this season around to make them the Super Bowl, because they are the defending champions, to make them Super Bowl contenders for this season?
Super Bowl contenders.
What do you think they need to do to repeat?
Man, right now, they best bet. They best bet.
They best bet. Start off with their best bet.
They best bet.
Say three things. Say three things.
Three things.
Three things.
Fire MVS ass.
You mean fire him or trade him?
Fire his ass.
Because don't you want to get something for him?
That's the reason you're gonna fire his ass.
That means you gotta
trade
trade
him.
him.
You still gonna fire him? You still fire his ass? You trade him?
You fire him is pretty much releasing him and not getting nothing for him.
Well, we can save up a bar cap.
Yeah, but we can get more if we trade him to get DeAndre Hopkins. Because DeAndre Hopkins still wants to come to Kansas City.
Does he? Oh, well, we could trade his ass and bring his ass here.
So I'll say you put him, put Scott Moore in there, and then you put a draft pick in there. Be good to go. You get him, you get that to him, you get DeAndre Hopkins. Because I still think Tony's a good player. So with him, Tony, and Travis Kelce, and you still got Pacheco and Clyde Edwards-Helaire and all of them running the ball.
Shit, you know what? I wouldn't do a Dre pick. I give up Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Too risky. That's too risky.
No,
what if Pacheco gets injured? What if Pacheco gets injured? Who's gonna run the ball after Pacheco gets injured?
You still got McKinney.
McKinney. Oh, okay, that's a good point. Good point. I forgot about him. Then I guess Clyde Edwards.
You gotta look at you gotta look at it. Helaire, he's a fucking injury prone. He already proved that. That's why he's a third string now.
But if you notice, most of those fucking playoff wins wouldn't have got it if he wasn't on that field.
No, I disagree.
So you don't think Clyde Edwards-Helaire played a part in those Super Bowl runs?
Maybe that first one when they actually won when Matthews was here.
No, because the second year, because he didn't. The first year he wasn't there. The second year he came in.
The first year he was there.
That's when they lost to the. That's when they lost to the Buccaneers.
He was there. He was there.
Okay, well, let's say he was.
That was actually his rookie season. His second year, he lost to the Buccaneers. That's when he kept playing hurt. This is his third year, and he's still hurt prone.
So you would put him on the trade with them.
Man, the same way they did Hardman, it's the same way they should have did his ass. I would have kept Hardman and put his ass on the bandwagon somewhere else to the Jets.
For us to get to the Super Bowl, MVS.
Hold on. I'll do one better for you.
Okay.
We got a Kittle as Kelsey, right?
Say that again.
I said we got a damn Kittle for Kelsey, right?
What do you mean?
Listen to me. Because I think San Francisco is the Kansas City right now.
Yeah, that's our only problem. That's our only problem.
So
because they still got Christian McCaffrey. Go ahead.
Listen to me. If you look at this is the reason why I say this. If you look at this scenario, didn't the Eagles lose to San Francisco?
Yeah.
Okay. So, by that being said, the wide receivers lost this last game against the Eagles. So, like you said, if we gave up a trade right now, we could give up MVS and more for him right now. We can bring
For
back
who?
for Hopkins.
Oh, for DeAndre. Yep, that's a fair trade.
We ain't losing
With a trade,
shit.
with a draft pick, throw a draft pick in there. That's fair.
We ain't losing shit. Now, hear me out. We already lost Ross, so we down a receiver, right? Now we down 3. So if we get him, we can always bring back old dude that was doing the returns when he came back that got Hardman's old number, Washington. We can bring back Washington, put him in the draft in the wide receiver cut.
Put him in special teams.
He's still being a wide receiver cut. We can still use him.
Mm.
He can run a route or two. He can just be on the number 6 wide receiver or number 7 wide receiver. We go get somebody else that's cheap, a free agent. Shit, right now, I go get Terrell Owens to come back in this motherfucker.
You know what's funny?
I wouldn't even get Terrell Owens.
That's not a bad idea because Terrell Owens said that Andy Reid was the best coach he ever had. So that would bring it. And here's the thing, you know what? You wouldn't need Terrell Owens. If you was to pick up somebody like Terrell Owens, you wouldn't need him for no regular plays or nothing. You would need him for situations like 3rd and short, 4th and goal. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Shit like if you want to go through the slant, then you can give it to him and you know he'll catch it. You don't put him in a 1st down or 2nd down situation. You put him down in a 3rd down or at the goal line type of situation. If you was to get Terrell Owens, and he wouldn't cost that much. But I'll take it a step further and say this. Why not Antonio Brown?
I'll go get him. And if I was Andy Reid, I'd come nigga.
Because he's younger. He's younger than T.O.
I go get Antonio Brown. We can use Antonio Brown too. But if I was Andy Reid,
if you talking about being cheap, then Antonio Brown. I mean, T.O. is still, he can still play, but he's 50-something years old. But he's 50-something years old.
It's another receiver to play for the Philadelphia Eagles that's retired, that's willing to come back. I forget his name. I just can't think of his name.
But but I would say in order to get DeAndre Hopkins, we will put MVS, Sky Moore, and a draft pick on the line. And here's the thing: these players that I'm saying, like Odell hasn't. I don't think. Has Odell played a game yet?
Yeah, he been playing.
And he's a Baltimore Raven. Now, a lot of people think that since we're on talking about the Chiefs, a lot of people think that I don't think he's a good fit with the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, Lamar Jackson's a good quarterback, but it's really messed up to say when you say somebody's a good quarterback, but passing isn't their strong suit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how can you be a good quarterback, but passing isn't your thing? That's kind of weird. That's why I say Odell doesn't really fit with the Baltimore Ravens, because what happens if Lamar Jackson? What's the main?
Everybody.
What's he gonna do?
Everybody always say he's a running quarterback. He's a running back. He's not a quarterback. He's a running quarterback. They try to portray him
like this.
They try to trade him as Michael Vick, but he's not a Michael Vick because Michael Vick can air a fucking ball out in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Usually when you see Patrick Mahomes running the ball and shit, right? You don't know if he's gonna pass it. You don't know really if he's gonna pass it. And if he does, he can chuck it down 40 yards down the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can do that. I've yet to see Lamar Jackson do something like that. He's been an MVP, but I've never seen him do anything like that. And with the Michael Vick situation is that Michael Vick can get you yards passing, and he can also, like he can run like 40, 50 yards for a touchdown. That's the only reason why I don't think Odell doesn't really fit in. But the only reason why I don't want him in Kansas City because he's injury prone as well. So that's kind of tough. But what do you think are
me personally, I believe he made a good pick. Him and then him and
Lamar
is a good duo. That duo right now is like him and Burrow and Chad.
Okay, Chase and Burrow. Okay.
Yeah, Chase and Burrow. Yeah.
Okay, now what do you think? What do you think our chances are of winning the Super Bowl with what we got? Like the percentage chance.
Before I answer that question, I'm gonna say this. I honestly felt like we should have paid Tyreek Hill.
I think so. I think so too.
I mean, I know he was asking for so much money. I mean, if we would have paid for him, I know we would never have McCaffrey. Not McCaffrey, but
we would not have been able to pay Chris Jones.
That too. But I felt like it was you could at least pay Chenchaz what the fuck he was worth because he took less than what he took anyway. Leaving out.
Yeah, I think after the Patrick Mahomes deal, it was going to be hard to cut a deal with all of those stars.
Everybody said they should never let Chenchaz walk out that stadium.
Oh no,
that was our fuck up in the receiver core as a number one receiver is let him walk out that stadium. Now look, even though he was hurt, shit like that, he's doing good. He's balling out.
Yeah. And what if
Tyreek Hill's doing good? He's balling out.
Even though and chances are we might have to see them in the AFC Championship.
The teams I hate to see in the AFC Championship, and this
the
is
only team I don't want to see is Cincinnati, and I'm good.
I don't see
Cincinnati going, so I think we're good. The only team we have to worry about is Miami, and I think we can beat them.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Ain't nobody else is lightweight. We still got
everybody else really is lightweight. Who do you think that Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville can beat us? No.
Came close.
Do you think they can?
Came close.
Do you think they can?
It's a possibility. If they keep playing the way they play, it's a possibility. Yes, that I believe so. They keep playing the way they're playing in the wide receiver core. Yes.
Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay.
Just look at this. Don't give
Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. Hold on. All right, let me keep going. Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos.
Yes.
You think they can beat us in the playoffs?
Yes. You want to know something crazy?
Go ahead.
We scored as much points that we scored against the Denver Broncos than we scored in any game in the fucking second half, bro.
Not counting Miami.
Count all games.
So you don't think we can, so you're pretty much saying you don't think we can win a playoff game this year?
Listen to what I said. We scored no more than 17 points in 11 weeks in the second half. We scored 15 points in both games in in Denver alone.
Yeah.
So yes, I believe they can beat us in fucking Jacksonville and the Bills, Pittsburgh. Hey, Pittsburgh can go.
What's Pittsburgh record? Because I ain't been really. Because
Pittsburgh's mediocre too. Matter of fact, they got the same record we do.
7-3.
Yes.
So you don't think we can? So you don't think this is our year this year?
Bro, we second place and we tied with three or four other motherfuckers with 7-3 in the AFC alone.
So whose year is this? Whose year is this year?
Right now, as what it's looking,
who do you think can win it all? Who do you think can win it all this year?
As right now, as it's looking, I can see the Denver Broncos for real, being a wild card team.
I don't see that. I don't see
Shit.
that. I don't.
Shit.
They just now got to a 500 record.
I can see the Oakland Raiders right now being a wild card team in the AFC.
I don't see that either. And we're live. I don't see that. I don't see that.
Shit, the Oakland Raiders in the fucking Denver Broncos is fucking tied, and they beating the Bills right now. If I'm not mistaken.
That's 5-5 in a week 11. That's 5-5 in a week 11.
I'm about to do some research myself right now about when it comes to these records right now.
Denver Broncos are 5 because the Denver Broncos are 5-5. I mean, kudos to them, but no, I don't see that. I don't. I know Denver Broncos are second in the AFC West. They're second in the AFC West, the Denver Broncos, but
my bad.
You got to think about it like this. Our record is 7-3, right?
Hold on, wait. Since since the games yesterday for Thanksgiving, everything else, we have now dropped from second place to third place.
Okay.
The Dolphins is in first place in the AFC, 8-3.
Okay.
Ravens is in the second place in the AFC.
You said, wait, what's their record again?
Who?
What's Miami's record again? I couldn't hear you.
Dolphins and the Ravens are tied, but the Ravens is in second place is 8-3.
8-3. Okay.
They both 8-3.
Okay.
Chiefs is in third. Jaguars is in fourth, and the Browns is in fifth in the AFC. Those three teams, hold on, we got the Chiefs, Browns, and Jacksonville. So yeah, Chiefs, Brown, and Jacksonville all tied for 7-3 in the AFC.
Okay, 7-3. Okay.
The Bills is 6-5. The Broncos is 5-5. The Raiders is 5. The Raiders is 5-6. The Steelers is 6-4. The Texans is 6-4.
You know what's crazy?
The Colts is 5-5.
Salute to the Steelers and Texans for having a good season because they had to go through a lot of bullshit. Those two particular franchises. So that's a good. So all right, we're gonna go to the next topic. You know what I'm saying? And the next topic is Draymond Green. Draymond Green. Now, you're not too familiar with basketball like I am, but I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the actions that have taken place with him recently.
Yeah, him throwing them balls.
Well, not exactly.
Or choking a nigga out. Which one?
Yeah, the headlock.
Okay.
With Klay Thompson getting into a little scuffle, Rudy Gobert was kind of trying to break it up, and Draymond Green put the man in a headlock and tried to choke him.
Yeah. I think I can try to find it, you know.
Oh, you on your laptop?
If I can find it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Oh.
As a matter of fact, you take a look at that just a second.
Yeah, I got you. I'm about to see if I can find that.
See what I'm talking? You see it?
I was looking at one on this computer to download. It's taking a little slow.
Oh. But yeah, this isn't Draymond Green's first encounter. Now, he's one of those people that like to take it too far. He's kicked people in the nuts. He's stomped on people's chests. He's, cheap shot at a lot of people. And I hear some people say that basketball is getting soft and shit. You've heard that before, right?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really heard that, but I can see
Basketball,
that.
the NBA is getting soft, like.
I mean, don't get it wrong. Like I watch the highlights. I still keep up with basketball. I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather watch the highlights in basketball than for me watching football. I watch football games, but I'd rather watch the highlights in basketball. Don't get me wrong, I will watch a basketball game, but
It depends on who playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it's the Lakers, I'm watching the whole game. But a lot of people think that basketball has gotten soft with the fouls and stuff. Like you can get fouls called on anything nowadays. I'm one of those people who kind of disagree with that.
Honestly,
Because
I believe every sport calls too many fouls. Football is calling too many fouls. It's a yellow fast all over the field for people shit they don't be doing. If you look at it, when you do replays and actually pay attention to it, there's a lot of shit that's called passes for pass interference. They ain't really a pass interference call.
Oh yeah, I'll be getting pissed. Yeah, I'll be looking at that. But basketball is different because I've watched basketball and I've noticed this, right? If you pay attention to basketball in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, it was real rough. You know what I'm saying? People were acting, you know what I'm saying? Let's exclude the 70s because that was too long for any of us to remember. And let's exclude the 80s because that was too long for us to remember. Let's talk about just 90s basketball, okay? 90s basketball had some of the roughest players you can imagine. The 90s basketball had the baddest team known as the bad boy Detroit Pistons. Bill Laimbeer, Isaiah Thomas, fucking Dennis Rodman. They was fucking beating people up on the court, and it was barely getting fouls called right then and there. Michael Jordan was getting his ass whooped every goddamn game every time he went to Detroit. You remember Charles Oakley, back when he was playing in the Chicago Bulls with Horace Grant and shit. They was doing everything but stabbing him on the court. It was like real blue, like this. I don't know if you seen a fucking foul from Charles Oakley, but that shit was that shit would be uncalled for to the maximum effect. And I look at shit like that, and it would get so. I remember one game I was watching. It was Detroit Pistons that was going against some team. I think they was going against my Lakers, and Isaiah Thomas had got fouled so hard he was bleeding from his eyebrow and shit, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, they fucked him up. So the fuck what? Laker Nation. Anyways, the point is, but I look at shit like that and I think if that was to happen in today's sport, it would be fucking unbelievable. I don't think the basketball player today would be able to handle the physicality of basketball back then. I don't think Steph Curry or LeBron James and them would have been who they were if they was taking those fouls and those hard hitting physicality like they did in the 90s.
Yeah.
It'd have been hard for Steph Curry to make a shot if Dennis Rodman had punched that nigga in the ribs. That nigga was punching niggas in the ribs. Like you see him guarding Michael Jordan and shit. This nigga would be fucking. I swear, I don't know how this nigga be elbowing this nigga like. I'll be like, God damn, bro. And the reason why I say that is because Draymond Green has been he's been suspended for 5 games. Honestly, if you ask me, I think it should have been 10 games. I think he should have.
All right, y'all. I found it.
Okay, now let's watch this clip right here, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, Mr. DJ. Hey, Mr. DJ.
And so we're scoreless. We'll stay 0-0 the first 2 minutes. And then look at Klay Thompson and McDaniels. What is going on with that? Wow. You've got a full-on fracas going on. Draymond came in to defend Klay. This got out of hand very quickly.
Look at Klay Thompson's jersey. It's ripped up. Now, that's more than a scuffle.
We're going to have to go to replay and look at all of this, but Klay Thompson's never been involved in anything like that. What was Jaden McDaniels doing?
They were going at each other's heads. That was serious.
I mean, as you said, Klay's going to need a whole new jersey. Klay is as mild-mannered a player as we've ever seen.
They're just running down the floor, and they got tangled up. I want to see who initiated first, though. Here's a look at it. So they're kind of coming together. Klay's boxing him out, puts his hand on his jersey. Jaden McDaniels puts his hand on his jersey. Now they're swinging each other around. Gobert gets in there. Draymond's got him in a headlock. There's a lot happening here.
Well, there were no punches thrown, which is good. In the NBA, it doesn't matter even if you make contact. If you swing at somebody, you're gone.
So look at him on the left side over here. Yeah, they just... Klay had his hand on him, trying to box him out, and then they were swinging each other around. Every team has an enforcer. The Warriors have Draymond.
The reason Draymond went so demonstrably is that Gobert had Klay in a headlock.
Yeah.
And Draymond's not feeling that at all.
So he's just pulling him off. We're not doing that. This ain't.
Now, after seeing that,
what
is your take?
Chill out.
And then Draymond, he headlocked Gobert there.
Man, honestly.
Yeah, they're trying to get Draymond off of Gobert.
So Jaden McDaniels been ejected.
Man.
What is your take on that?
They got tangled up. Somebody got mad. Emotions got, involved. And yeah, that's what that was to me. That's what it looked like.
Now,
I just don't feel like me personally felt like the initiator should have been involved in that. But from looking at it, it looked like he kind of pushed him back and tried to yank his jersey down, Thompson. And that kind of initiated. So I can see both of them getting ejected from the game like they did. But if you ask me, both of them was wrong. Both of them got the right call. So what? So be it. Desmond Green, yeah, he should have been ejected too.
Now, do you think he's been suspended for a amount of games? How many games do you think he's been suspended for? He should have been suspended for.
Who?
Draymond Green.
I feel like he should be at least suspended for no more than 3 to 4, at least 3, 4, maybe no 3 games at the minimum. No more than 5. No more than 5.
Now he's been suspended for 5 games. No more than 5. He's been suspended. I honestly say it should have been 10. And here's why I say that, right? Because I've seen people get suspended for less. You remember the Malice in the Palace with Ron Artest when a fan threw a beer at him and shit?
Yeah.
He got suspended for the whole fucking season for that. Just because somebody else threw a beer on him in the crowd. And he reacted to it. Now, if you're going to suspend somebody for just reacting off something a fan should do for a whole season, then I don't think nobody else should be no different when a nigga has a record of kicking niggas in the nuts and punching his teammates, knocking them out and shit, and doing shit like that. I don't think for somebody who has that type of record, no. Give him 10 games because he's gonna keep doing that. Last year in the playoffs, he stomped on a nigga's chest.
Well, yeah. If that's the case, shit, you need to give a nigga a season.
You know what I'm saying? He's always doing something. And when I looked at that footage, I was like, yo, you was just looking for a reason to do something. I just thought he found that reason.
Shit like that's when you spend shit like that is how you do motherfuckers like Ross in the NFL. How the commissioner to his ass. You can't go to practices, you can't go to no games, you can't do nothing. You go boss the NFL.
Yep. Okay, with that being switched, let's go over to the next topic. If I can remember it. You've been tuned into boxing lately?
Not really.
Okay, well, the topic is Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney. Now, I'm pretty sure we've had this conversation before, like when it's just us at the house and shit. Hi. Anyways. Hey, Maury. You're not gonna say hi? You're not gonna say hi?
She's saying hi.
Hi.
Okay, that's better. Okay, so if you Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, and Devin Haney. Now these 3 individuals are all undefeated. We've had this conversation probably before. Ain't nobody yelling.
Outside the up button.
What'd you say?
Oh, what she said. Go play.
Why can't you speak English yet?
Go play.
That's a video.
I am. I'm live. Go. Bye.
But anyways, like all 3 of those individuals are undefeated. Now, if you remember, you know who my guy is out of those 3, right? You already know who my guy is.
Yeah.
And his last fight wasn't the best fight. Actually, was a record. It actually had a record for the second least punches thrown in a fight. At 103. I mean, he still won the fight, but it was, to me, it wasn't a good win. And that's me rooting for Shakur to be better than all 2 of those guys. Now, if you were a boxer, or if you were a boxing coach, because me and you've always had this conversation of you possibly doing something like that. What would you do? What would be the advice you would tell your undefeated trainee? I mean, your undefeated boxer, who's going in there trying to, be an undisputed champion of some sort?
Oh man, I don't know, and I'm gonna say I don't know it because it all depends on the circumstance.
Okay, well, let's throw this out there then. Let's throw out the circumstance then. And I didn't want to say this, but fucking, I'm gonna say it anyway. Let's say you train in B. Let's say you train in 6. How would you turn that around?
It's the progress of how I don't know as a trainer or just as
a trainer,
boxer
as
and
a trainer.
as a trainer and a boxer. I'm looking at the technique as a boxer has. I'm looking at it's kind of like somebody you going into a job, even though you got experience in this job. I'm as a trainee. I'm looking at you as what do you know? How can you do this job?
Keep going.
You know what I'm saying? So if I know you have experience in this job, I know you've done this type of work before. What do you know? So as I figure out what do you know, I'm looking at what is your bad habits that's bad that I know that can fuck you up possibly. Or are you sticking your hand near the blade, knowing you're working a chainsaw type of shit? You know? That's the type of shit that I'm looking for that if I was a trainee. If we can fix the bad habits, we can work on the actual shit that we need to work on. So you gotta fix the leak links first. Once you fix the majority of those links, then yeah, you got it. Now, as a trainer, I know some of those links can be fixed. And I know you can bypass those links. Just for example, if you're a cook, you'll have some ingredients that you know that are bypassed. You know you ain't got no milk, you know you can use whole milk.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever thought about like being a boxing trainer? Do you think that that's what I said? Like, let's say that you're training somebody. Let's say you're training somebody in a fight, right?
I never actually thought about being a boxing trainer. Don't get me wrong, I do train my kids. I train them the basics of the boxing. I'm one of those type of guys. If you know the basics, you can protect yourself from anything coming near you, even with a boxer. Shoot, who knows? Even me knowing the basics, I might be able to knock Davis out. I ain't saying I can. That's a cold motherfucker. But if I was to get in the ring to spar with him, who knows I couldn't.
In your mind, in your eyes, somebody asks you right now, no matter who it is, who is the greatest boxer of all time? Who are you gonna say?
Of all time?
Of all time.
Of like living or just period of all time?
Period, all time.
Period of all time. And my eyes?
Yes.
My eyes?
Somebody say, who is the number one boxer of all time? Number one of
and my eyes, the number one boxer of all time would be Muhammad Ali.
You would say Ali.
Second would be Sugar Ray Leonard.
Sugar Ray Leonard, that's a bad motherfucker right there.
The third one, I say Mike Tyson. The fourth one, I would say Holyfield. Matter of fact, I think Tyson and Holyfield would be my third. That would be tied. My fourth one would be if I was going to drop down a weight class, that my fourth one would be Roy Jones Jr.
That's a good five. All right, I think my five would be. That's a good five. My five, number one, would be Iron Mike Tyson. I always thought that he was the greatest fighter. Like, just it was just. I'll explain that after I finish my top five. But Iron Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, like it was just that man was just amazing. Like that man was just amazing. Roy Jones Jr., Smoking Joe Frazier, like that dude. That his mathematics on how to box is nothing short of amazing. Like he was the person that invented the take the body out, take the middle out, and the whole thing will fall like shit like that. That dude is crazy. And a lot of people, I'm surprised a lot of people don't have this person in their top. But Floyd Mayweather, like a lot of people like sleep on Floyd, but he's a fucking monster. Like there's nobody right now you can name that could beat Floyd Mayweather because he's beat them all.
Yeah.
Like I would have liked to see Floyd Mayweather fight.
Like I said,
like if we was to go in a time machine,
yeah,
I would like to see Pretty Boy Floyd fight Sugar Ray Leonard. That would have been fire.
Like we want to go at all times. I'll have to do a top 10 of all times because I have to do my old school, then I have to do the new school.
Yeah, and then later on, what's crazy is because that would have ripped to the topic. Like if I would have mixed up your certain fighters. Like who would have won? Like your new school versus your old school. Who would have won if this person would have fought this person or some shit like that? If Tank Davis would have fought Manny Pacquiao in his prime, who do you think would have won?
See, it switched. But hold on, to answer your question, hold on. You said Manny Pacquiao, who else?
I said Tank Davis versus Manny Pacquiao in his prime.
In his prime? Manny Pacquiao by far.
Like, I wish, like, we gotta. That's why I gotta get that boxing fight because that shit is fire.
Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao by. I say Manny Pacquiao by far because shit, way more. Shit. Look at this. Hear me out here. If Mayweather and Davis fought right now, who you think will win?
Mayweather.
Okay. So, if Mayweather beat Pacquiao, who you think will win against them two anyway? In your prediction.
The weird thing is, like, if Tank would have fought Mayweather would have just outboxed him. It showed how better, like, fast. He would have went the distance with Tank Davis and Tank would have lost. I think that Manny Pacquiao would have just been on him so much. I think that Tank would have knocked Manny Pacquiao out, but I think he would have had that. It would have been off of instinct instead of just him seeing it coming or something. Like he would have just threw a wild punch and it would have landed in
me personally. I feel like he would have went all the way with both of them.
I don't think he would have been a problem with Floyd.
But I believe Floyd would have knocked his ass out at least like by like the 10th or 12th round.
Are we talking about Pretty Boy Floyd or Money Mayweather?
Money Mayweather, period. I believe Junior. The Junior. I believe he would have knocked his ass out in his prime, right now.
Because Tank can take a punch. Because Tank done took some crazy ass punches.
Yeah, and like I said, I believe Tank would have been knocked the fuck out by the last two rounds. Now, Pacquiao, I believe he would have went the distance with Pacquiao. And it would have been debatable.
Probably would have got knocked out. I don't think he'd have got knocked out.
Because you got to look at reason why I say this, hear me out. The reason why I say this because you got to look at it like this. I believe Pacquiao is the only one that actually gave Mayweather his the actual fight.
I don't see that. I think Mayweather walked through him.
I don't see it because he never knocked
It
them out.
wasn't even close.
They
It wasn't even
both.
close.
If you gotta look at it like this, if both fights went all the way through with both of them,
You talking about when he fought Manny Pacquiao, right?
yeah, he fought him twice.
No, you talking about Marcos Maidana.
No, him.
Yeah, he only
Pacquiao,
fought Pacquiao once.
did he?
Yeah.
Okay, but either way, he fought him once, it still went
He
all the way
walked through
through.
him. He walked through him that fight. He walked through him. It wasn't even close, that fight. It wasn't even close. Pacquiao made it. Pacquiao didn't even stand a chance. He didn't even look close.
Again, I feel like he.
But if it was that Pacquiao in his prime against Tank Davis, I think it would have went 10 rounds. Pacquiao would have hit him with a good punch. He would have been all over him, trying to knock him out, throwing combos. Tank would have threw an uppercut and knocked his ass clean the fuck out.
See,
Right
I see how he fights. Mayweather fights. If you gonna fight Mayweather, it's gonna be on his pace. He's gonna control that fight to be on his pace.
Yeah.
He's a defensive fighter. So for him being a defensive fighter instead of offensive fighter, he can control it by making your ass tired and swinging while you're on offense.
And that's what he's gonna do the whole 12 rounds.
Yeah. He's gonna block, dodge, move around, quick on his feet.
Use that jab.
Yeah. He's gonna swing. He's gonna swing just to keep you back off his ass as you trying to rush and swing on him to get him. You're gonna get more tired swinging when he get him swinging.
He'll let you get
moving
up
around.
close to throw those swings, but he just keep dodging that shit like. Like, go ahead, keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't wait to see these next fights coming up. Deontay Wilder and AJ Johnson. I hope that shit happens pretty soon. But to keep it going, want to talk about how sports actually has brought Kansas City together even more. Because if you notice all the bullshit nonsense that we go through when it comes to Kansas City, sports has brought us together. Have you noticed that none of us were really interested in watching a Royals game until they became the championship contender World Series?
Bullshit. I watched the Worlds even before they came.
I mean, I'm a sports guy. I watched the Royals, but it was a whole bunch of niggas that did not watch them.
Shit, I went to Worlds games. Actual
you don't
Worlds.
We're talking about majority, not you.
Well, yeah, majority, but I was one of those majorities that did go. I watched baseball.
I was gonna say you were the small percentage that actually watched baseball games. I was talking about how when we were a good team, when the Royals were a good team, that brought us together. Like, you remember when we lost the World Series the first time?
Yeah.
And everybody, we wasn't even hurt. Everybody said the same thing. Are we gonna win it next year? And then we won it next year, and you saw it downtown with blue.
The Royals was always like the Chiefs. The Royals was off and on like the Chiefs. The Royals had their ups and downs. The Royals always been good, just like the Chiefs always been good.
They had more downs than ups.
Yeah. But the Royals actually never really had a good actual fucking manager to know what the fuck they was doing.
Yeah.
To partake. Now, if you look at that, even when us growing up, since 85 and up, we gonna go back to 85. Looking at that since 85, the Royals always been shit. Even in 85, the Royals was in the playoffs. It just never went nowhere.
Yeah.
Shit, even from 80, let's just say the 80s period, the Royals was in the playoffs and just never went nowhere. Now, we have our awesome knowns where the Royals was in the playoffs, maybe once or twice, didn't get nowhere. Maybe 2 or 3 more seasons, they didn't make the playoffs, which is like this season. They ain't making no playoffs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're just used to the Royals doing that. Maybe when we get old, about 50, 60 years old, we're going to see that fall, but like, oh, shit, we done made it to the playoffs.
Yeah, what's crazy is me and you both lived long enough to say we saw the Royals win the World Series and the Chiefs win the Super Bowl.
What you doing?
We both lived long enough to see it. And closing out this monologue, I'm going to do my closing monologue, and then I'm going to close out. You know what I'm saying? Tell me if you like this monologue, okay?
All right.
Now, like I said, originally we were going to do a Thanksgiving show, but you know, we had our family things to deal with, so we didn't do the show. But it's a lot of things that I want to talk about, like that a lot of people say that, oh, I'm not thankful that. I'm thankful, and I want to say this on air, I want to say this live. I'm thankful for, even if I didn't have nothing to do yesterday on Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for being able to come out here and start my new life. I'm able to be into my own, in my own place. You know, because 2 years ago, before I came out here, I was in a very bad position in life. I was in a very bad position in life, and I was not in the right state of mind. Until 1 year later, I came out here. A came and got me and brought me out here. Then a year later, I'm up here in my own spot right here. I'm thankful for that because me and A have went through a lot of things in life. Go back and look at this and see that we going live still doing it. It's a blessing in my eyes. So when I say that, a lot of people don't know how much that they have unless it's gone and everything. Everything is taken for granted. I would like to end my monologue by saying, do not take what you have for granted because it's not going to last forever. And you need to understand what you're going to do to make a situation better because not everything lasts forever. And it's up to us to make the best out of a bad situation. Thanksgiving, to me, is an example of making the best out of a bad situation. Because, yes, I was at my house, but my cousin came and pulled up on me and brought a plate to me, goddammit. So I'm thankful, like, it's things like that I'm thankful for that I keep doing. And it makes me want to keep doing blog and keep doing podcasts like this. So my ending monologue is to tell everybody, be thankful for what you have and make sure you're in contact with your family because it's getting closer and closer to that time of Christmas. And y'all know I'll need to get back to doing these Bars of Reels episodes. Need to start doing that. But hopefully next time y'all see me and A, we'll be doing that. We'll be doing a Madden game. We're gonna make sure it's intense. All defense, you know what I'm saying? So, Bars are real. You want to say anything to close out?
Yeah. You know, bars real. People are fake. One love. Peace. Stay blessed and dangerous. Stay out of dark alleys at night.
Huh?
Do you know why I put you over?
Because I was at the stop sign for too long?
Yeah, what's up with that? Why was you just sitting there?
I was just waiting for it to turn green.
I feel it's better than running through it. Where you headed?
I'm headed home.
Okay, where you live?
With my parents.
Okay, and where do your parents live?
They live with me.
Okay, and where do you all live?
We all live together.
Okay, so where's your house?